Hello guys, welcome back to Beyond the Realms, and today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favorite comic book films. This is a video that I've wanted to do for quite some time, but I've been kind of debating on how to do this. Should I do it as favorite superhero films or just straight comic book films? And I've went ahead and decided to do this as just straight comic book films. So this is films that are based off of a comic book. Now I could go back and do a separate video of, favorite superhero films. But, this is just strictly films based off comic books. And I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I have this a little bit too loud here. So yeah, this was kind of hard to do. There's so many great comic book films out there. And, I kind of had a rough time getting this all together. But without further ado, we'll get started. Number 10 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which may come as a surprise to show up here. This is probably more for nostalgic reasons, I guess. It's really fucking cheesy, but I love this film, and growing up, I had this on VHS, and I watched it over and over and over. I had it, line for line, the dialogue memorized. I just really loved this film growing up. So number 10, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Coming in at number 9 is the original Superman, which this has all 4 of them on it, but I'm going for the original Superman here. Just a great superhero film. It was the first of its kind. It's great. Christopher Reeves is just freaking awesome as Superman. Love the film. I love the whole franchise in general, but the first film is just really special. It's really awesome. So that is Superman. Coming in at number 8 is a film from last year that, I think pretty much everybody loved. This is a great film, a lot of fun. It is The Avengers. I saw this in a theater 3 times. Just absolutely loved it. Just such a fun film. I mean, I really miss films like this in the theater, and it was a real pleasure to see a film like this come along again, and I can't wait for, Phase 2 of Marvel, which is hitting now with Iron Man 3, but I really can't wait for Avengers 2 to come out, in a couple years. The Avengers is just awesome. Coming in at number 7 is Sin City. Now, this is a film that I only watched one time. I had only seen this in the theater. I mean, I liked it. I just never revisited it, and recently just picked up the Blu-ray and just totally fell in love with this film all over again. And this is actually the film that inspired me to do this list. Because, once I watched this, I was like, man, this film's really shot up my list. What would my top 10 comic book films be? So, yeah, Sin City, I love this film, and I can't wait for the sequel to come out later this year. The Blu-ray is fantastic. It's reference quality material. Just absolutely great film all the way around. And I may possibly do a full-on Blu-ray review of this at some point. Coming in at number 6 is a film that I think is highly underrated. You don't hear too many people talk about this film anymore, and I think it's a shame because it's one of the funnest films of this century, I think, and it is Scott Pilgrim. Yes, this is indeed based after a comic book series. It was 6 graphic novels. I believe it was 6. Just an awesome, awesome film. And I know people, really don't like Michael Cera that plays the lead role here, but he fits this character so perfect. He really does it well. This is just a really, really fun movie, and if you love old school video games, there's all kinds of references to them in this film. And it's just a lot of fun. I love this film so much, and I've watched it so many times. Just a great film. Coming in at number 5, this should be no surprise to be showing up in here, The Dark Knight Rises. I love this film. Absolutely love it. I think it was a perfect wrap-up to Christopher Nolan's trilogy. It's a great film. It's a very epic film. A war film, just really, really great. I love Tom Hardy as Bane. I think this is the best performance of Christian Bale as Batman and the entire 3-film franchise. Really, really love this film. So yeah, number 5, The Dark Knight Rises. Coming in at number 4, a film that probably should be a little bit higher because of how much I've loved this film over the past, 20 years now. It is The Crow. I saw this in the theater back, I saw it actually on a preview night. Actually, Speed was out, and they did a preview of this like a week or two before this came out, and you could see The Crow for free along with it. That was the first time I saw it, and I was just like, wow, man, this film is amazing. I've actually never read the graphic novel, which is a shame. I really should. But Brandon Lee is just so amazing in this film. It's such a great film all the way around. I love the feel, the tone, the look of this film. And really, it's the first of its kind. It was really a trendsetter, I think, of its time. And it's held up really well. It just has a great score. Just everything about this film. I mean, it's just perfect in my opinion. I love this film. So yeah, number 4 is The Crow. Coming in at number 3 is another film that I grew up with, absolutely loved and watched, I can't tell you how many times, countless number of times. It is Tim Burton's first film, Batman. This, really changed comic book films. I mean, and just in general, I mean, it's just such a great film, a flawless film. Michael Keaton is so awesome as Batman in this. And, Jack Nicholson is the Joker. It's just a great film. Just all the way around great. Great cinematography, great feel. Tim Burton was just really on top of his game at this point. It's just such an epic film. And I remember the first time we went to see this on opening night. It was sold out. We had to buy tickets for the next day. And, I know for huge films nowadays that can happen, and that's why they've started a lot of pre-sales and stuff like that. But 1989, I mean, as far as what I experienced and knew, that was totally unheard of. This film was such a phenomenon when it came along, and it's just so great. I love this film so much. It just never gets old to me. Coming in at number 2 is what I would like to call, I guess, the smart man's or the thinking man's comic book film, and it is Watchmen, which I have this on Blu-ray too, but I wanted to show this one because this is the Best Buy exclusive. It's actually, the whole case is Rorschach's head. It comes in this collectible box. I love this edition. I adore this film. It's so awesome. It's almost panel for panel on the comic book. I mean, I know there's some things that were changed, and I know, the ending was changed and stuff like that, but this is just a great film. Zack Snyder really showed his chops in this, and I think he just really knocked it out of the park. He really captured the whole essence of the graphic novel, which I've read this graphic novel no less than 3 times. It's just a fantastic story. It's a grown-up, like I said, thinking man's type story, and it's just an excellent film that has very high replay value to me. And coming in at number 1 should be no surprise if you know me or know anything about me. It is The Dark Knight. To me, this is the perfect and quintessential comic book film. That is just, I really see this film out of any of these going down in history as like the classic comic book film because it is just so amazing all the way around. It's an absolute flawless film. The story is complex but yet very easy to understand and very easy to follow and easy to get into. Heath Ledger's performance, I mean, you could go on all day long about his performance, but Christopher Nolan's direction is just perfect and spot on in this film. I've seen it so many times, and I could literally put this film in every day and just be, mesmerized by it. I'm always, anytime I put this film in, everything else disappears, and this is all that matters. I mean, that's just how it is for me. And, I don't know if you may have seen the videos. Last year, I got to go to some of the filming locations in Chicago where they filmed the part where the semi flips. And actually, it was from this scene where he's standing in the road and he's challenging Batman to hit him. Like, I actually went to those locations and did some filming there in Chicago. You can go back through my videos and find those if you like. But I just love this film. All of these are great films to me, but this one just stands head and shoulders above the rest as far as any comic book film goes. It's just perfect, absolutely perfect. There's nothing at all I would change about this film. So yeah, guys, that is my favorite comic book films, all stacked up here. Like I said, it's just my opinion. This is just my favorite ones, but I would highly recommend any of these films. If you haven't seen any of these films and you like, comic book films, I would recommend checking any of these out. They're all great on different levels and for different reasons, but they're all, really good. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. And what are some of your favorite comic book films? If you have ones that are different than these, like I said, there was a lot of them that was hard that I hated to leave out. Batman Begins was one I hated to leave out, but I didn't want there to be too many Batman films in there, even though it could have easily been in there. But what are some of your favorites? And hopefully somebody might do some video responses on this of maybe talking about some of their favorite, maybe not top 10, maybe top 5 or something like that. So, yeah, guys, hopefully, you'll let me know some of your favorites, and hopefully you all are doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Have a good one, guys. Later.